this is something that frustrates me about Batman, and it's not the character's fault. It's more of like the community and DC's fault, where they write him as a superhero. And I never found Batman to be interesting when he's fighting aliens or fighting planetary threats. When he's the world's greatest detective in the dark, dirty, gritty streets of Gotham, that is when Batman is at his best to me.
I've been talking to a lot of people about this actually lately, because of all the news coming out about the DCU Batman, and James Gunn has been saying some weird things, such as like he doesn't know what to do with Batman because every Batman story has been told. I highly disagree. There's so much that you could do with Batman, and I guess maybe he's talking about the character of Batman itself, but there's so much that you could do with Batman, generally speaking, because there's so many villains in the Batman world that have never been on the screen before. So,
and like you can have amazing stories, like if they weren't afraid to take risks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Side Projekt Podcast. Yes! Let's take a sip from our underrated consoles mug. So good. So good. Keep looking at my other monitor here. And it looks like, I don't know why it's like, what is it? What is that? What is that size? Is it 4:9? Is it 4 whatever? I don't know. It should be 16:9. I should know this as a videographer. I'm just going to run it back. We're not going to talk about this. Anyway, how's everybody doing, man? If you want to take a sip out of an underrated consoles mug, you can get that right now on the Side Projekt merch store via Side Projekt Podcast, where, like I said, you can get the underrated consoles mug in black, looking absolutely amazing, or you can get any of the other mugs that you see here on the show, such as the Run It Up mug and the Project Park mug, and you can get those in different colors. I think we got those in white, but they got like the red handles or the blue handles or whatever it is that you want. And you can get, if you are following on Instagram and you saw Chario put out the bread and butter merch. It's looking absolutely amazing with the hand and the butter, and it goes in the anthropomorphic loaf of bread. Absolutely amazing. You can get those in a tee. You can get them in a hoodie like I'm rocking right now. You can also get it in a black mug. Absolutely amazing. I actually really dig the bread and butter merch. I'm like really digging it. I'm going to wear this every day. I'm never going to take it off. I'm going to shower in it and everything. It's going to be absolutely amazing. SideProjectPodcast.com for the Side Projekt merch. Go get you some. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart if you get some. 2026, first episode of 2026, man. But anyway, let's get into the bread and the butter of this week's episode, because my guest this week is an award-winning cosplayer hailing from the Indiana area with standout cosplays like his Iron Man build, looking absolutely phenomenal, 3D printed parts, equipped with electronics, painted with automotive car paint. It lights up. There's motorization, and we're going to learn a little bit more about it in just a few. Then somewhat recently debuting his Daredevil from the King Daredevil comic run, of which I've gotten the chance to capture cinematic video and photo myself, which is coming soon. And we got the opportunity to work together with me in cosplay as well, also coming soon. And that's just to name a few. A previous cosplay of the week here on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and give a warm welcome to Ryder CGA.
Hey guys, I'm glad to be here, man.
Yeah, dude. How you doing?
He gave me that whole like head of the table kind of intro. I wasn't ready for that.
We gotta put it up.
We got the ones up.
You know what I mean? Hell yeah, bro. I'm happy to have you here, man. It's kind of been a long time coming. It's been a little bit of a long time coming. It's been a little while.
Bit, but it was worth the wait. It was honestly worth the wait. I was very excited to be here. So thanks for having me, man.
Hell yeah, I'm stoked, man. I bit the ever living out of my tongue, by the way, when I was doing that intro. Could you tell at all that I did?
No. Thankfully, I couldn't tell. But oh man,
right on the tip, bro. I bit the hell out of it right on the tip, and like I don't know if anybody can notice it if they run it back, but like towards like the middle to the end, like my saliva was just like all up in my mouth, and I was like trying to continue with the intro and not like have to like swallow in the middle of the intro. Bro, I was like, I wanted to finish it so fast. I was like, come on, get to it so I can take a breath. Oh man, dude, it's good to have you here, man. Dude, we were talking off camera, man, and I don't know if you want to mention it, but I'm gonna bring it up, dude. And you were talking about like cons that we were both talking about cons that we were gonna go to, this year, or next year, and when whatever's gonna happen. And You were mentioning something to me about how one of your goals for cons is to like, be a panelist or do a panel or host a panel or check out other things throughout cons and whatnot, bro. And I just want to put this out there to the air, to the universe, for anybody that's watching so they can ride with you guys on this, man. I think you and Kira should do like a building cosplays panel or like building Iron Man panel, bro. Like you guys got to make that happen, bro. Like you gonna try for it?
I'm gonna talk to him about it. If it's not that, we also have like other ideas of like discussion topics that we've like, because like anytime we're in a Discord call, it could just be literally its own panel or podcast episode, whatever. Like those kinds of friendships where it's just like all you need is a camera. Let them go.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I'm gonna talk to him about that, and hopefully maybe we can set something up sometime in the future.
Yeah, you guys got to do it, man.
I really like somebody that I am as close with as him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. When you were talking about that, you mentioned it right away. The first thing that came to mind was like, man, it would be like having both of them together, like on a panel and talking about like building these intricate Iron Man builds and whatnot. Like, I feel like people would be so interested in that because it's not. I mean, I think they're a little bit more common in the sense of like the last few years, like Iron Man cosplays and like big builds and whatnot, like Heroes for Hire, a previous guest in Cosplay of the Week, and Projekt panelist as well, like building his big builds, and he has like a Warmachine as well, you know what I mean? But it's still in the less common category. You know what I mean? It's not everybody that's doing that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like it's an interesting topic, man. And I mean, speaking of, it's a perfect segue into, your Iron Man, which is, I think is one of the best that I've ever seen next to some of the others that are equally phenomenal. Like I said, like Kira Creates, for instance, and whatnot. Previous guest, previous cosplay of the week here on the show. And there's a lot that goes into pulling off a cosplay of this caliber, especially if you want things to, light up or you want to have motorization, for example. So for you, I'm curious, where do you start when it comes to like putting your build together? Because there's so many working pieces, so many working parts. When you decided you wanted to do Iron Man in the first place, where did you start? Like, what was your starting process, and how did you even ultimately decide on which version of a suit that you wanted to go with as well?
When I started my suit, this is like a build that has been like technically years in the making, but it was back right after Endgame came out, because I'm an artist as well. There was a trend where it's like, spoiler alert for I guess a 5-year-old movie, but I guess like Tony Stark passed. And they're like, what? Iron Man died? Spoilers. But there was a trend for artists where you draw your own Iron Sona, which isn't uncommon because people have done it with Spider-Man. They've done it with like all these other different characters. But with Iron Man, it felt a little more unique because Iron Man is a character where all of these could be feasible and not just like a multiverse thing. So my dad, he gave me an iPad that had Procreate, so I was doing digital art. So then that's when I was like sketching the suit of like, what would my suit be like? So I like grabbed like the Warmachine Mark 1, the Mark 5 colors, and Heartbreaker, and I threw them together to make the drawing. Then like years down the road, I like drew it, finished it, forgot about it, and I started getting into 3D printing when quarantine happened. I'm like, I want to do Iron Man because it's a character that really lends itself to like, I want to make a big build, and it makes me feel the most like the character, right? And then I thought about it. I'm like, okay, frankly, Build's on the 85 and Kira's on the 34 and XYZ. And I'm like, I've always had this thing of wanting to be unique, which obviously everyone wants to, which is be unique. But like when it comes to cosplay, there's like, and there's a way where you could kind of like, oh, you have that thing, XYZ has that thing. So you're kind of like, oh, you can get confused. But I was like, what if I made something that was 1-to-1? So I started looking at the suits that people haven't made before. And then one day it like hit me like a bolt of lightning, where it's like in my iPad, the suit I had drawn 5 years prior was just sitting there. And I said, that's the one I'm going to make. That's the one where you walk 100 Iron Man cosplayers down the aisle. You're going to know that one's mine. And that's where I started. And then I had to actually learn the entire process of 3D printing and sanding and everything. And everything was literally on this suit was a trial by fire. Like I did not know a single thing. I just jumped feet first into the fire, and I was either gonna go pressure makes diamonds or it breaks things. So I was like, either I'm gonna come out of this with something truly special, or it's a learning experience to get me to that point. And thankfully I came out with the former. So
jeez, dude. So did you have 3D printing knowledge before this, or that too was also a part of it? Damn.
It was a part of the whole thing. Everything on the suit was completely, it just died. Everything on the suit was just completely, I didn't charge the battery.
I saw it in the background.
Everything on the suit was completely new to me. I had to go to YouTube University, and some things I had to just learn on my own. So it was all just like, I'd rather throw haymaker punches than pull them, because at least then you're swinging for the fences and you can't say, okay, I tried. So everything was just like learning as I was going along.
To pull that off and like not have prior experience in like various fields is insanity, dude. So like when it comes to like what you do yourself then versus what others contributed to the suit, especially with not having prior knowledge on many things, like, you know, certain files by certain modelers, or like if you printed everything yourself or you got something printed, sanded, painted, et cetera, like what precisely did you get hands-on with? Was it the suit as a whole or specific parts? Like how hands-on did you actually get?
So I got the files from various different sources online. Like I found the files, I combined them together. Everything else past that point, like sanding, building, fabricating, painting, everything else was pretty much me. Like that was in the paint process, the idea in which to battle damage it. It was all myself putting it together. The only other thing that I had to get outsourced was a code for the helmet motorization, but everything else I had to like pre-code my arc reactor, so every time it turns on, it has a little like ignition sequence.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, everything else was just me. Like the battle damage on this, I painted this thing pristinely and I drug it across a driveway to scratch it and scuff it. Yeah, I actually threw the faceplate like a frisbee across the driveway to give me like some scuffs, and then I would go in with an airbrush.
Yeah, that's cool as hell. Heroes for Hire had some stuff like that too. I can't remember because it's been quite a long time since I had him on the episode. I've had him on panels recently, but not on the episode where we dove in depth with just him. But I remember in the episode that we did do, God, I can't remember what it was, but he said that I believe it was something that he did, that same thing. I think he tied it to like the back of his car and drove so it would like get messed up or something, you know, or like in oil or something like that, I believe. And then there was other people that have done things like that too. I want to say Sentinel, maybe. I can't remember. You know, Sentinel, he does like crazy builds and stuff too. I can't remember, but you know, people that do builds like those, that you guys often do things like that to make it look more realistic, as opposed to like just painting on like a scar or something. You know what I mean?
Airbrushing. It surprised me how uncommon it was, or like, okay, maybe not uncommon, but when I went to New York and I competed professionally with the suit, even people like Yaya Han were surprised at the fact that I drug it across a driveway to get the authentic scratchings that you would get from something that takes battle damage. And I'm like, I feel like that would be more commonplace because it doesn't get more authentic than actually damaging it.
Doing it. I think people don't want to damage it. You know what I mean?
They're like, I want to be in control of it. Yeah, I think that's like where a lot of people mess up, which you don't have to do it if you don't want to. I think it gets more authentic if it is actually damaged. Like if you scrape it along a driveway or if you throw some rocks at it. I've seen some people actually, a friend of mine, who doesn't have social medias, but he took a 12 gauge to one of his shotguns because he wanted to blow a piece of the armor off, and it actually like shattered, like a 12 gauge hole was in it.
Bro, way to kill my joke. I was literally about to make I was gonna be like, yeah, bro, I prefer to like shoot.
We'll edit it out. Let the joke.
I was gonna be like, yeah, no, I prefer to like set my up and just blow it to you know what I mean? When I go like a shotty. I was literally gonna say that, and then you're like, dude, somebody did it for real. That's crazy. That's cool as hell. You're right. It doesn't get more authentic than that, though. You know what I mean? That's cool as hell, man. That's what I love about like cosplay in general, bro. Just like the creative process that some people have, you know what I mean? Because like I say this like in almost every episode now when we get in depth about the creative process of cosplay. Like I don't have that, man. Like these hands, like the crafting and everything. Like I'm just not good with that, bro. Like the getting crafts together. Like I just don't have that skill. Like Tyre has that skill, and thank God that I have like a fiance that can help me with that because I don't have it. Like
incredible.
I do other things. You know what I mean? As everybody, I'm here. I'm good. I'm good with speaking. I'm good with the camera and stuff like that. We all know where our strong points are in things. I'm just not good with those crafts, dude. So like to see and to hear and like even watch Tyre do things, I'm just like, that's so creative. Like I just don't have that skill. You know
to me personally, like I think cosplay doesn't begin and end with building like a suit of armor or a cosplay thing. I think that the community as a whole is what really makes cosplay shine, because cosplay is just storytelling. If you really want, in my opinion, it's storytelling, because I can put on a costume, set up my phone on a tripod, and take a photo of my Daredevil. Or Iron Man or whatever cosplay. But if you get somebody who maybe doesn't like you said, like we'll use you for example, like if you said that I can't build this thing, you with the camera, unfair
I'm doing
advantage.
something.
You're unfair.
I'm doing something else with it. Yeah.
You take like the community as a whole, when everyone puts their skills together, it creates these stories and recreations of things that we love. So cosplay as a whole is just like, it doesn't begin and end with like making a costume. It's everybody like, oh, I love the community, but I don't make a costume. If you're a good videographer who loves the community, you help us look really
I guess
good.
that's true. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Thank you. Yeah, I guess that's true. There's a part of me sometimes that wishes like, oh man, I wish I could create something like what you're doing like with the Iron Man, but I know it's just not in me. I know my strong points and I know my weaknesses, and I'm not good with it. Like you should have seen. I've said this before, but like you should have seen my gingerbread houses as a kid, bro. Like you know what I mean? They were unrecognizable. You know what I'm saying?
I'm 25 years old. I still can't build a gingerbread house. I still can't. I've tried several times.
Horrible, bro,
it just doesn't work.
Yeah, bro. I can't even carve a pumpkin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have it, bro. I don't have it, man. When it comes to like for your Iron Man, when it comes to like the electronics and the motorization, like what do you have in the suit that is actually operational in a sense? Like talk to me about things like the arc reactor or like your hands, you know, the face shell and everything too, and the process behind getting all the electronics to operate properly. What's that like? And then also like let's talk about the elephant in the room. You know what I mean? The big thing sitting on your shoulder, bro. Like is it operational? Is it stationary? Like what's the deal?
In true Tony Stark fashion, I already have ideas how to upgrade it. But in terms of operational, the helmet is the most operational part because it's got a chin trigger right here. So I just extend my jaw and I hit it. And it goes to a microchip, which is wired to 2 servos. So it's all like screwed together. So when I hit the button, it flips down. When I hit it, it goes up. And it even has function. And this is from the code from the people at Crashworks who make these because they wanted Iron Man helmets to be more accessible for people to build. They have a button where you can adjust the brightness of your eyes too. So when your eyes are down, you can like hit it twice and it adjusts, or you can hit it 3 times and it turns your eyes off.
Damn. And
that's
do you do it like Kira? You hit it with your chin?
Just like Kira, which funny enough, Kira's video is the one thing that helped me get it done by New York because I had 4 days where I had to pack everything up and be done. And nobody had a video that was like, I need you to hold my hand and show me how to do this. And he released his. I said, oh, I am saved. Because I would have just went on to Kira about it.
On his YouTube channel, right?
Yep, on his
shout out to
YouTube.
Kira. Everybody go follow Kira's, subscribe to Kira's YouTube channel.
Yeah, so that's operational. The arc reactor activates stationary and it stays on for like 6 hours. So once I plug it in, it just has like a little animation that consistently keeps going.
Nice.
So it looks like it's pulsing with power.
Yeah.
The hands are just puck lights you get from like $5.99 at like a grocery store. And I rip them apart and glue them. And the button is in my palm so I can kind of like almost do a Spider-Man move, but I have it to where it's so subtle that I just tilt my wrist back and it turns on and off in my hand. Now for the machine gun, that was a Nerf gun. That was a Nerf gun I found for $25 on Black Friday. Yeah. I gutted it, which I regret doing, but I gutted it and I painted it black. I might make a secondary version, which has a motor in it because I want to put motor in it with a smoke coming out of the barrel.
Nice.
That's like one of the ideas I had when I make a V2 of that thing.
Yeah.
And I had to 3D model an arm chassis because the chest plate I used isn't meant to hold a shoulder cannon. So I had to 3D model my own arm chassis so that way I could have this thing on my back. And it's just PVC pipe, so I can just rip it off whenever I need to.
Nice, dude. That's so creative, man. And did you know anything about like, I asked this question to Kira too, and he had some prior knowledge. Did you have any prior knowledge of like electronics, like, you know, wiring or any of that?
Nope,
or that also went in blind with that too.
Yep.
Damn.
It literally was all just, we're going to see what happens. And hopefully I don't end up
crazy,
you know, causing an electrocution, but hey, it might work.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't put the suit on and I got some wires hanging. Yeah, exactly, bro. That's crazy, man. So you kind of answered one of the questions I was going to ask you. You know, you mentioned wanting to do like a version 2 and all of that stuff. So when it comes to like even just big builds, even outside of Iron Man, you just said version 2 of Iron Man. So you're going to make some upgrades for sure. But do you have any plans of making like maybe another Iron Man suit, like how Kira has, for instance, like his Mark 40 and his Mark, what's his other one?
42?
Is it 42? Yeah, Mark 40, I think 40 and 42, I believe, right? Yep. And, you know, you're going to make more Iron Man. You're going to upgrade your Iron Man, or even like maybe some other intricate builds in general. Like, do you have future plans for this style of cosplay?
So in terms of armor, I am currently on the docket. I have 3. One of them I've been working on since last year, and I was going to get it done by MAG, but due to circumstances, I had to push it back. And that's Whiplash from Iron Man 2, because nobody really cosplays villains, and I really want to. I love cosplay heroes, so sometimes you just want to take a dip into the villain pool.
There's so much more fun to play.
Oh, dude, you're Black Mask. Yeah,
I cosplay a lot of villains, bro.
Really?
There's too many heroes already.
I couldn't tell. No, I want to do Whiplash because that one isn't really an intricate armor build, but it's also intricate because it's like an exoskeleton. I also want to do Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Iron Man to only go for fighting game events.
Right.
And then I have a couple other armors I want to do, but the main one that I have to get done this year, and Kira's mentioned it on the story, but I guess here's on a more permanent basis to announce is that he wants to do an Iron Man 3 group. So with his 42, he wants me to be Rhodey. He wants me to be the Iron Patriot. So that's the next suit that I am actively making to go with his Mark 42 as a duo. So that'll be the next build. Since I've already got experience with Warmachine, I might as well just make the Patriot.
And wait, hold up, because I want to say something. You said Warmachine, so is yours? Is it Warmachine or is it Iron Man? Because I've also seen different photographers tag you as Iron Man, tag you as Warmachine, and I honestly was like, which is it now? I'm even confused.
Yeah. Honestly, I say Iron Man just because it's easier, but because of the shoulder cannon, I'm like, it could be a Warmachine variant because the Warmachine was originally an Iron Man suit.
Yes, exactly.
So I just say Iron Man just because everyone's like, that's Iron Man as soon as they see the arc reactor. But then you see the shoulder cannon, you're like, Warmachine. And then it's like, okay, well, tell me about it. Whatever you guys want it to be, that is totally fine.
It works because it started as Iron Man before it became Warmachine, so it's fine.
And I'm not, because I love Warmachine. As a kid, I used to love Warmachine more than Iron Man because of the shoulder cannon.
Yeah.
So
dude,
I never fight people about it.
Bro, when I was a kid, I was like, dude, Warmachine's like, which one is way cooler. Yeah, right?
Yeah, because he's got like all the armaments and stuff.
Yeah,
so like,
I was like,
honestly, being a Warmachine variant ain't that bad because there aren't that many Warmachine cosplayers, which I want to see more of. So
yeah, 100%. Dude, I'm stoked for like if you guys do the Iron Patriot and all that stuff and everything, man, that's gonna be so cool.
I'm definitely gonna have that done.
Yeah, I didn't get to shoot your Iron Man, dude. I've never gotten to even see it in person. I wasn't even able to see it in person. I only got to shoot your Daredevil.
Oh, trust me, this thing's coming with me with the Patriot and New York. It's coming with me to New York.
Yeah, next time we're at the same con, bro, hopefully, we have time and we can shoot it, bro.
Oh, for sure.
You showed off your Daredevil helmet there, your Daredevil mask,
trustful cowl.
Yeah, bro, your cowl, man. And I want to talk to you about that. And we're definitely going to get into that. I can't wait. But before we do that, let's break up the monotony. Let's just run it back. Let's run it back. We can't mess up the cosplay of the week. Let's run it back. No stuttering. Let's break up the monotony and let's get into this week's cosplay of the week. And this week's cosplay of the week is none other than Chris Moran Cos, and I'm throwing it up on the screen right about now. And it is of his very fitting for today's episode, Daredevil. And this is absolutely phenomenal, dude. Suit by Leather Fashion Valley, the Billy Clubs and the Holster by Michigan Mandos, and the photo by Carla I should have looked this up before instead of improv in this moment. Carla, I think it's Carla. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's going to be up on the screen. It's always up on the screen for the spelling, but Carla is a photographer. I hope it's Carla. I hope that's the first name as well. Apologies for that. But photos absolutely phenomenal. You looks like you guys did this maybe in a studio. It could have been in a studio or it could have just been like a backdrop as well with a little bit of editing and whatnot to, blend things together. But absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's just a gorgeous photo. I remember when I first saw this, I was like, Jesus, with the Billy Club in front of the camera. Absolutely amazing. I don't want to spoil any details, but as a videographer, photographer myself, I'm going to guess that maybe some camera tricks, you know what I mean? Were you holding it? Were you holding the camera, taking the photo and then holding the Billy Club maybe? I don't know. You know what I mean? You don't got to tell me, but I'm guessing. Absolutely cool. Those behind the scenes moments are things that I live for. It's totally cool to, do those little camera tricks and everything to bring out such an amazing shot. And you got the Billy Club out of focus with him in focus. The expression in your face, Chris, is just absolutely amazing. Hand is perfectly placed as if you threw it with the other Billy Club in your hand as well. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal, dude. And I want to throw up another one, and I'm throwing it up on the screen right about now. And it's another kind of like in the camera shot. I love those in camera shots, man. Like those, hand in the front and the weapon in the front, whatever it could be. If you got like, even like those, I do it a lot in my fight scenes when I shoot videography, and you do those like over the shoulders and you see the other person, you just kind of see the L shape of the head and the shoulder kind of halfway in frame, blurred in front of the camera. I love all of those kind of things. And this is another one of those shots with something up front. And you're in focus again with the face, the expression, the suit looks beautiful. The shot is absolutely amazing. Suit fits you perfectly, bro. You scream Daredevil. Everything about this is just absolutely amazing, man. And same credits for this second photo as the first photo. And he's got all kinds of other cosplays up on his Instagram, so go check him out. There's a Captain America that I absolutely love as well, but I wanted to highlight the Daredevil because it's also very fitting for this week's episode. In case you didn't tune in to the full episode on YouTube and you're only viewing this on Instagram as a clip, we've got got guests this week, writer CGA, and we're talking about his Iron Man or War Machine, depending on how you look at it.
Whichever you prefer.
Yeah, tune into the full episode to get the context on that. And then we're also going to be talking about his King Daredevil in just a moment here as well. Ryder, do you got anything that you want to add about Chris's cosplay of the week?
It's so incredible. I've been following Chris for a while now, and I just every time I see his Daredevil, like I know Born Again is the hot new thing, which is totally fine. It's a beautiful suit. It's probably my favorite suit. But this, it's always fun to see somebody do the Netflix series Daredevil suit, and you knocked it out of the park, especially with the new cowl. Like that's. Oh my God, you absolutely killed it, man. This is great. I love it.
100%, man. If you're not following Chris, please go do so right now. Chris Moran Kaz. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your last name right, by the way, man. If that is your last name, I'm assuming it is. Go follow him right now. All the spelling is up on the screen because Chris, your Daredevil cosplay of the week for me and Ryder CGA is amazing. Oh, man. Ryder, I said that I wanted to talk to you about your King Daredevil, but if you tune into the show, you know we're not going to do that just yet. I want to throw you a little bit of a curveball. I want to get into a segment that I like to call Blow Shotgun Questions. And what Shotgun Questions is a little bit more of a rapid fire segment that never ends up being that rapid fire. We always end up having a conversation about it, and that's okay. That's kind of the irony of it. It's a series of 3 questions, and it's all fun and games, nothing serious. Let's see how much fun we can have when I ask you. You have to build a team of 6 characters to fight off a threat on Earth. This could be a team comprised of superheroes or villains across the Marvel Universe, DC, any other comic-based company. This could also be mixed with gaming characters or any other forms of pop culture. You have to build a team of 6 characters to fight off a threat on Earth. Who are your 6?
Oh, this is gonna be hard, but all right. Number 1, going with my greatest of all time, Ghost Rider. Johnny Blaze. Ghost Rider. Literally, Ghost Rider could probably handle 90% of the threats by himself.
That penance stare, you know what I mean?
That penance stare, Hellfire chain, we're going in. Number 2, Spawn. Spawn is going to come in. More Hellfire coming in.
Do you need 6? Do you even need 6 at this point?
Hey, sometimes somebody got to deal with the street levels.
Exactly. Yeah.
Number 3, since we're going to go, we went there. Kratos. Just because we got Kratos. Here's one that I guarantee no one has said on this show before from a video game. Cole McGrath from Infamous.
Oh my God, dude.
Fully heroic karma Cole McGrath, because the Beast would probably end up becoming the threat if they handled that. So we're going to have Hero Cole.
Yep.
We've got 4.
2 more.
Okay, we got 2 more. Ooh, that's going to be a hard one. Okay, we need a team. I haven't gone DC yet. John Constantine. We're going with John Constantine.
Oh my God, what a powerful team. You got 1 more.
And I'm throwing in Hellboy. I'm throwing in Hellboy from Image, from Dark Horse.
This might be one of the most powerful teams, if not the most powerful team that anybody's ever put together on the show, dude.
Listen, man.
That's insane, bro. That is insane. All right, next question. I got to ask because, and I want to Tyre told me to ask this as well because I forgot to write it in my notes. And we're just going to go off script from the shotgun questions. You've never cosplayed anything, at least I've never seen anything DC. Is that right?
I have not.
Is that ever a plan?
So there are a couple characters I would love to cosplay and a couple variants I do want to cosplay. I just haven't. I refuse to do Batman. Batman and Superman.
You and Googs are the same, yeah.
Like nothing against Batman and Superman, but I refuse to do it. But there are some characters that, in DC that I do want to do. Specifically, a lot of the Injustice designs. I love the NetherRealm designs with Injustice.
Yeah. But I love Atrocitus from that game.
Oh, he's so good.
And Brainiac's design from that game looks good too. I like a lot.
I think the one I've been leaning on the most as a character is Deadshot. I love Deadshot.
Yeah, you'd make a great Deadshot.
Yeah. 2016's armor, even from the movie. I know people have mixed feelings, but I love the armor design in that movie. Yeah. But also the video game, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. Yes. I love the design because of the bullet chain going down the arms. Yeah. I love Deadshot's design because of the way, like you said, with behind the scenes of how I always love how they come up with how a character fights.
Right.
And with Deadshot with his wrist gauntlets, they said he's boxing. So it's like when you watch Deadshot fight, when he shoots, he's boxing. Yeah. He's in pure boxing form. So that's a character I would love to do. Maybe like Damian Wayne would also be one with a sword, with a sword. Yeah. I haven't looked too much into DC because I'm a big fan of armor, and a lot of their stuff is more of like the skin type battle suits. But
that's what I was going to ask too. If you even were like a DC fan, you're obviously more of a Marvel fan, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I was more of a Marvel fan now, but growing up was a big DC and Marvel guy. Like I got every comic from both ends.
Nice.
I watched all the cartoons. But there's like a couple of characters that I've seen that aren't really ones that get a lot of limelight.
Yeah.
But ironically, the characters that I love the most from DC are the ones that don't have the most interesting costumes.
Yeah.
like Constantine. I love Constantine so much. It's a trench coat.
Exactly. I know. I've always
cool.
wanted to cosplay Constantine myself too, but then I get into the thing of like the hair, and I'm probably I gotta wear a wig. I got the beard, so like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Yeah, there's a few DC ones that are roaming around that I would really love to do, especially with like this new like renaissance of like the Absolute universe, where we have like all these other huge juiced up version of the characters like that's like metal. Especially Dark Knight's metal, a lot of those designs from Batman I would do.
Those are sick,
like the Relentless, Dawnbreaker, like all those. So like all of those, like there's a few of them in DC I would love to do.
Okay, all right. Well, that leads into the next shotgun question. See how I told you it's never rapid fire. It's so ironic. Okay, so then I'm gonna ask you, out of these Batmen, this is gonna be a fun one because you said no Batman for cosplay, but in film, you've got Keaton, Bale, Affleck, Pattinson. You can only choose one. And the rest and their universe cease to exist. Who do you pick?
I'm keeping Pattinson.
Pattinson, all right, man.
There's
no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer.
No. I'm keeping Pattinson because this is something that frustrates me about Batman. And it's not the character's fault. It's more of like the community and DC's fault where they write him as a superhero. And I never found Batman to be interesting when he's fighting aliens or fighting planetary threats. When he's the world's greatest detective in the dark, dirty, gritty streets of Gotham, that is when Batman is at his best to me. And Pattinson, they made the Riddler a threat. Like, Riddler's a joke villain, but they made him a threat. I want to see that Batman who makes mistakes, who's more of a detective than he is a superhero. He's a vigilante more than a superhero. That's more interesting to me. Even Bale, it kind of got bombastic and like over the top, like superheroics. Even with Bane, like Joker is like at the peak of that. So if I had to pick one, there's nothing wrong with like the superheroic Batman, but for me, I love when Batman's a detective. I love when he's in the thick of it rather than fighting aliens and like Dark Side's minions and all that.
Right. Yeah, no, I feel you on that because also for me, like I've been talking to a lot of people about this actually lately because of all the news coming out about the DCU Batman, and James Gunn has been saying some weird things such as like he doesn't know what to do with Batman because every Batman story has been told. I highly disagree. There's so much that you could do with Batman. And I guess maybe he's talking about the character of Batman itself, but there's so much that you could do with Batman, generally speaking, because there's so many villains in the Batman world that have never been on the screen before. So,
and like you can have amazing stories. Like if they weren't afraid to take risks with like a darker version of Batman, like a really dark, like do a serious House on Serious Earth. That is one of the greatest Batman stories ever. And it is the darkest Batman, like one of the darkest ones of Batman that inspired Arkham Asylum. But if you read that, if they turned that into film, like a director like Ryan Coogler with Sinners or Sam Raimi, where it's like a mind trip almost. You could do stories with Batman. I think it's just the fact that they feel like they need to put him in this box.
Yes, exactly.
To appeal to the masses.
And we just kind of keep recycling the same villains. It's like,
please no more Joker.
Let's do. I don't want it, bro. And James said that there. For Matt Reeves, they're also bringing what's his name's Joker back for Matt Reeves, and I'm like, just don't do it for the Batman too. Just focus on somebody else. There's so many characters.
Mr. Freeze, Clayface, Solomon Grundy. Like 100%. Batman has all of these great villains, and we keep going to the Joker. And it's like I don't want to see Joker anymore.
And I get it. I get the Batman Joker. They go together. I get it. But we've just seen it so many times that I want something different, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He has so many great villains.
Exactly. Whether it be Matt Reeves or James Gunn, for both of them, I want something different from these Batman films. I don't want the same things.
Hell, Matt Reeves could do great with Black Mask. Like a criminal syndicate.
Bro, they already set up the Penguin. It sits perfectly. Like you can tie it all in.
The Court of Owls, the League of like there are other characters other than just Joker. Joker has pushed back. Even here's one that the only villain that's ever been able to actually break the Batman And it's not Bane, it's Damian Blackfire. He broke the
bro,
Batman's mind with the cult.
Many, yes.
And we just
So
keep
many
going
things.
to Joker.
Yeah, I don't get
stop.
it. Let's take a risk. You know, I kind of, in a sense, again, I know it's controversial. A lot of people, you know, some people like it, some people don't. But like the detective aspect of Pattinson, you know what I mean? Like, I like it also because it was a risk. It's something that has never been done, and that's what I personally want. I want them to take some risks, and I want to see something different. So take the risk. I appreciate that. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, last question. If you could time travel to any time period, any era, where would you go and why? And you can have up to 3 different places, 3 different choices.
I would actually, if I could go right now in my current form, I would probably pick early 2000s. Probably 2000s. Because
nice.
I would love to see the beginning of the superhero, not even superhero, pop culture where we got Star Wars, Matrix, Batman, seeing it at its born and seeing how it is before it became mainstream.
Yep.
I would probably go to the 80s because music.
Yep.
I'm a big music guy, and the culture 100%. Was just so different.
Yeah.
And then the time periods. Since we're gonna go for, I'll say 90s too, because 90s was a very interesting time where it was that transitional period. Yes. It was that transitional period from the 80s to the 2000s where everything was starting to break the conformity of the mold of the comics code. Like the comics code was starting to loosen up, and you get some of these great stories. And I know it's like a basic answer, 80s, 90s, 2000s, but it's I would like to see these things when I would like to see these things when they're born. We can look back and be like, that was a great time in history. At the time, you didn't know that. So I would love to see what the reaction of people in that time period were of Spawn or the first Blade movie or the first Raimi film, and just explore and see how people work, because what's coming, but they don't. So it would be very interesting to see how pop culture evolved.
And then everybody, when I ask these questions to people, everybody has to always also keep in mind that not everybody is the same age. So you said earlier, you're 25, right?
Yep.
So, you want to experience things that you weren't there for, like the 90s. I was there. So, you know what I mean? I was there, and I had an amazing time. So, you know what I mean? I know it's good. But you know what I mean? There's for me, of course, same thing for me. My choices are probably going to be other things that I haven't seen. My choices are, I don't even know if I can narrow it down to 3 if somebody asked me my own, but they probably change over time. But I'm also a big fan of the 30s and stuff like that, like the mafia era, reigning supreme and all of that. Always a big standout for me. And then if we're also going to pick, since you said 80s, 90s and 2000s, if we're going to go even further than any sort of modern, I want to see things like the dinosaurs too. If we're going way the fuck back, that really interests me. Dude. And then the pyramids, I want to understand the pyramids, bro. You know what I mean? Those things too. If we're going to go way back, those are also picks of mine, just personally speaking.
Yeah, those are great.
Of things that I want to understand too, only because you said understanding things and seeing creations and whatnot, and it just reminded me okay, if we're gonna go way back as well, those are things that I would want to see, creations and understandings, and see how it really was, you know what I mean, to live in those times, you know what I mean,
to live in the moment.
Yeah, and as weird as this sounds, I want to be on the side of the street when the mafia or somebody when oh man, I can't remember his name right now. Oh man, what is his name? I can't remember his name, but when they're robbing a bank and trench coats and everything, and the guns with the big circle ammo, which I can't remember the name of the gun right now either. You know what I mean?
Thompson.
Tommy guns, right? Yeah, the Tommy guns, and they jumping on the cars and they're riding down the street
gone.
You know what I mean? In New York or Chicago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that's crazy. People were like, Jesus Christ, Jess, something's wrong with you. You know what I mean?
But I've seen the actual Bonnie and Clyde car. I thought that was the most interesting thing.
Yes,
I've seen the interesting. It's interesting because it's
a moment in time, bro.
It feels like it's fictional because we live in this different era, but this is things that actually happened.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to watch these things as they happen because hindsight is always going to be 2020.
Exactly.
So we're going to be oh, that was bad, right? But it's imagine going through these things when they happen, as they happen. It's always something that's always fascinated me of when you think of a character's name or you think of a character, wonder what they thought of when they made it. Because you don't know it's going to be a hit. You don't know when you create something if it's going to be successful. So when you say the word Spawn, what is that? What is that going to be? And then you watch this thing blow up massively. in real time would be very interesting to me. Like,
bro, the creation of Spider-Man. I'm gonna create a kid that gets bit by a spider and he develops webs. Think about it, like especially back then, people were probably like, "What the hell is this guy talking about right now?" You know what I mean?
Or characters like Daredevil, where it's like his superpower is his senses are enhanced. That's it.
And he's blind.
He's blind. He's a blind
character. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like the creation of these things, it's crazy, man. Well, there was shotgun questions. Wow, you brought up Daredevil. Perfect transition, man. I would say 2024, I think, maybe even 2023, 2025, and probably going into 2026. Daredevil cosplayers, they got way more popular, I think, than they ever were in the past. You know, that may be true, that may not be true, but that's just my opinion. I feel like last couple years, we've seen a lot more Daredevil cosplayers. And in a time where a lot of people are doing comic accurate versions or even twists on iterations with some of their own design work thrown in, such as, you know, shout out to previous guest, Projekt panelist, and cosplay of the week, Caleb Weeks. And then, of course, the Charlie Cox version, whether it's, you know, the Netflix or bringing it back with Disney. We see a lot of those now, and you have opted to bust out the King Daredevil variation, which is one that you see here and there, but it's even lesser seen, lesser cosplayed. And as I said earlier, I got the chance to see it in person at New York Comic Con. Looks absolutely amazing. We got to shoot a really cool cinematic reel that we've yet to release. It's coming soon. And then we also got to collaborate together as my muse, and those are also coming soon, man. What drew you to want to cosplay this variation of Daredevil?
Yeah, also, side note about that photo shoot, Chazzy holds the honor of being the first and only person that I allowed to knee me in my jaw for a photo. So that's something to look forward to. Chazzy was like, I don't know if I can hold this. I was like, go for it, I'll be fine.
Like, you sure?
I was like, go for it. If blood comes out, it just adds to it. No, what inspired me to go towards King Daredevil is Daredevil is a character. People love to say now he's like really, really big. Obviously not as big as like the Avengers or anything, but like back then when I was a kid, I watched the 2003 movie. Not a good movie, but it was all we had. And I was like, this character is very interesting. I started reading the comics, and he's always been a character that stuck with me and has been the most consistently written character in Marvel. He's had like maybe a couple dips here and there, but he has been on an upwards trajectory the whole time. Yeah. And so then Chip Zdarsky came out with the Devil's Reign storyline. And like, there's only so much you can do in a superhero costume. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I'm like reading this and he gets like this new, like kind of semi-armored look with the hood and he's bearded. And this is like a Daredevil that is no longer just fighting in Hell's Kitchen. He is going after like the entirety of the hand. Yep. And there's something about its simplicity, but it's also like complex with like the kind of feudal Japan style ninja influences that really stuck with me. I'm like, this is a Daredevil that is on a mission. This isn't him with his superheroic spandex. He's got his billy clubs, a knuckle dusters made of broken blades, and wrapped his hands. And he says, I am here to be king of the fist with Elektra, which is also another one of my favorite designs of Elektra.
Yep, same. And they kind of go hand in hand there. No pun intended to the hand. But you know what I mean? Literally, they kind of go hand in hand. There's like a comic strip. I think there's like this one image of them. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're like laying in the snow and they're kind of like sprawled out. I don't know if you know that image.
Yeah, so they were there. It was their initiation ritual to become king and queen before they got married. Yeah. Where they're just like exhausted. They just have each other's hands. Yes. Like, okay, we survived. And it's like, okay, that's... Yeah, it's such a good story, and I really love Zdarsky's work, and that's why I like the King Daredevil design. The name of the artist escapes me, but whoever designed that for him, it felt like the next evolution for Matt's character before he ended up going to hell further in that storyline and getting another costume change, which is him in the all white, which is a beautiful costume. It's literally just the character, and it's just the character, but in all white. But for some reason, the symbolism of him being the hand, like the fist of God, and I'm gonna go. Like it's a beautiful story.
I think they call that suit, if I'm not mistaken, I think it might be called the Purified suit. I think I'm not quite sure.
I think so.
I think it might be something like that.
And it's like it's so interesting that this is just a guy from Hell's Kitchen. Like he doesn't have any other powers in his enhanced senses. Everything else he is trained in, and he's just supposed to be the street level guy. But he's out here. He took his own life with it. Like he forced his wife to kill him so he can go to hell and get his best friend's soul back. I'm like that. Story is what Daredevil is just I'm going to go against the odds to do what's right, and it's and the costume just represents that. Like I'm on a mission and nothing's stopping me.
Yeah, it's an amazing character. As you said, one of the best, most consistent written characters of all time. And it really is. Like there's not too many people that are into comics that complain about Daredevil. You know what I mean? I think it's like one of the least complained about in comparison to all other comics. You know what I mean? Like, did you ever the suit itself and everything? Did you ever think about or like want to cosplay any other variations of Daredevil, any other suits? Like, did you ever have any other in mind before you landed on that one? And do you think that you'll ever end up doing any other suits in the future?
I have. So when I was cosplaying Daredevil, it was obviously when like the Born Again series had just hit because I had waited my whole time in high school, like for this to come back, and I was like very set. I'm like, man, I'm never gonna see Daredevil again. Then he like made his appearance in Spider-Man. And then She-Hulk, and I'm like, are we going to get a Daredevil series? And then we watched it. I'm like, I'm doing Daredevil.
Yeah.
One of my ideas was to do the Born Again suit because obviously it was the hot new thing. And the Netflix suit, it doesn't resonate with me as much. Right. Upon rewatch, it does. But I love the Born Again suit. Then I just started reading my comics again. And I was like, I really want to do King Daredevil. And in the future, I do want to do some different Daredevil suits. Like I wanted to do King Daredevil, but with a Shadowland color scheme. So the red double D's
sick, bro.
with like red leg wrappings and red fists. Just like try something else out.
Yeah.
And then I had an idea that I've been bouncing around with Kira again, where he wants to do Bullseye. But like a new version because in my opinion, the Born Again Bullseye and the Disney Bullseye costume is not good. I don't like it. It's it's the shiesty. I don't like give him the cowl or like have him have a stolen Daredevil suit and paint on the bullseyes.
Yeah, same.
And do that. So one of my ideas was to get 2 Born Again suits. One of them was going to be the clean hero version. And the other one I was going to, I don't know when I'm going to do this, but if he ever wants to do Bullseye, I'm down.
Yeah.
Is to do a battle damage version, which has the broken horn from the first episode, but have a bunch of knives sticking out of my back and my torso and just walk around like that. Like
nobody better steal his idea, by the way. You better not steal his idea.
No, don't touch that idea. That's mine.
He said it right here. We got the date stamped and everything.
I will commit. I'll commit. Y'all, if you steal my idea, just put it in the phone. I'll be like, Kira, I'll just hand Kira some knives. Here, have at it.
If you ever see anybody do it, bro, we're going to clip this and be like, we got the date stamped right here. He said it on the show. It was his idea.
Like, listen, I think I'm good because I'm the only one crazy enough to take a $200 suit and stick knives in it.
Yes,
but
bro.
Don't take my idea,
creative.
man.
I like that, dude. That's dope as hell.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of like niche costume. Like if you do a character, but you do something that's from a specific episode, it's always fun. And with Daredevil, that first episode where he just has like 16 knives stuck in his person, I'm like, that'd be a dope cosplay to walk around with a bullseye.
Yeah, dude. Damn.
Like after the first fight.
Since we're kind of talking about it, bro, let's just go. Like I'm curious because you kind of, if you want to bring it back to your own cosplays as well, but just the way that you said the idea of the bullseye suit and everything, dude. So I'm like, out of curiosity, what do you want from Daredevil in the MCU? Because like that right there is an amazing idea. Like you should pitch that to them somehow. You know what I mean? Like that's what should happen. I
told
Bullseye.
Charlie when I met him in New York last year, hey, tell him to get you a suit like this with the hood. Just pass that along.
Dude, like all of that. What do you want to see from Daredevil in the MCU? Such as, it could be suits or things that you want him to do, maybe something to call back from the comics or like characters that you want to see him interact with. You know what I mean? Or do you want him in Avengers Doomsday? Do you want him in Secret Wars because he plays a part in the comics? You know what I mean? Or do you want him to just remain street level? What do you want?
I wouldn't mind seeing him in Secret Wars to just play his part, but if they're going to take creative liberties, personally, I don't think Daredevil is a character that needs a movie. I think he is best when he has his own series. I want them to keep
that.
Yeah, I think that he, like, now that they've gotten the rewrites and the reshoots done, they have a solid team and a direction. I want them to keep going in the direction that they're going. Give me more dark, gritty on the grid. Like, let Matt try to fight this militia and this revolution against King. I want to see that.
Yeah.
If I could just pick anything, like without having to logicalize how we get there. I'd love to see Shadowland. I'd love to I'd love to see Matt get corrupted and now the Defenders and everybody has to save Matt from his own soul. I'd love to see King Daredevil because, we have John Walker as a Thunderbolt. So it'd be really cool to see Charlie Cox and Wyatt Russell in a hallway and we get that scene.
Yes.
I really want Elektra to come back, but give her she needs to be better written. They didn't write her good in the Netflix thing. They kind of made her like one note killer when she's much deeper than that. Like they tried with Yeah, I want her proper like I want her proper red suit and then give her the Daredevil suit.
Yeah.
And honestly, just keep like Typhoid Mary be a really good character to do a story with. There's just so many things, and Daredevil is funny because like if anybody's been to New York, for anybody who's like listening or watching this, if you want to make yourself laugh and think about all this insane things that are going on with Daredevil, remember that Hell's Kitchen is 10 blocks.
Yeah,
Hell's
exactly.
10 blocks in New York. And all of this is happening in 10 blocks, which is really funny.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
I really also just don't want to see a bunch of cameo fest, which I know is the main complaint with Born Again. Yeah. And like people are like, where's Spider-Man? And I'm like, I don't. Matt deals with a lot on his own. Yeah. At most have the Defenders, but I want to see Matt keep dealing with these odds and putting the city of New York as a character, because I think that's one of the things that MCU forgot about, which in my opinion, the MCU is good right now. Like it's doing good projects now that they're focusing on quality over quantity. But one thing we lost is that the city of New York is a character in itself.
100%.
And in the original Raimi films, you have that amazing scene where like Spider-Man's about to get killed after saving the kids and MJ, and the New Yorkers are throwing things off the bridge and made the city feel alive. Like, oh, you're going to pick on our New Yorker, you're fighting all of us.
Yeah.
Daredevil is like that. That's why all of his team is just people that live in New York, because the people need to fight back. It can't just be the heroes all the time. Yeah. It's supposed to be a symbol of hope and rebellion. So I feel like as long as we keep that going, I'm excited to see what they do, because they've adapted a lot from the comic. And I want to see more of what they're going to go with it, which is why I'm hoping the black and red suit is Shadowland, but we'll see.
It looks like, from behind the scenes, if you've seen them and stuff, we know Jessica Jones is coming back for the next one. We know that's happening. I don't know. It look maybe from some interviews that I've seen, it looks like, what's his name? Michael Coulter, I think, right?
Mike Coulter,
Cage. He's kind of hinted that something has happened. We haven't got confirmation, but I'm guessing maybe a small cameo of some kind, or maybe one episode or something. And then I believe even the actor for Iron Fist, I think he hinted at something on his Instagram as well. I don't know if he's just playing into it or not.
I hope he gets better writing if he comes back, because the Iron Fist show should not have been the worst of the four.
Yes,
but
I agree. Yeah.
He was not.
Yeah, that's a controversial one. I know that. So I don't know if he's just like playing along to try to get Marvel to call him back, or if it's actually a thing. I don't know. But they all kind of gave hints. The only one that we have with definite confirmation is Jessica Jones, because we've seen the behind the scenes.
She also showed up at NYCC when they showed the trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
Which,
so
Marvel, can you please release the season 2 trailer? Because I'm kind of tired of seeing like 352 character teasers for Doomsday. I don't care about that.
I know.
Daredevil comes out in March.
That movie's not even coming out for another year, bro. Doomsday's not even out for another year.
The trailer was shown twice at NYCC, and I went to the bathroom and missed it.
Please. Damn. Yeah, dude.
Please.
How do you feel about like the Defenders seemingly, possibly looking like, at least some of them, coming back? And what do you think is going on? Because it kind of looks like Matt's on the run.
Yeah, because of the things happening at Born Again. Which, even though this show's been out for almost a year, I won't spoil it. But Matt is kind of on the run and quote unquote missing. But if anybody's going to find him, it's the Defenders, because they're all relatively close to each other. Yeah. Except for Danny. So because Danny, Iron Fist, off or off country, whatever. Yeah. So I could see like Matt needing a little bit of backup, like somebody more, because obviously if you're going to lead a revolution with the AVTF running around, you're going to need some help. And Spider-Man's trying to keep the city, assumingly, he would have to keep the city like as a whole together. So he can't show up to Hell's Kitchen. But I wouldn't mind seeing the Defenders come back and help, because they're the street level guys. They're the guys on the ground in the dirtiest of the dirty of the muck, which was established in Netflix after the Avengers fight. That's how Matt got his start. Right. So I wouldn't mind seeing like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage coming back with better writing than the Defenders, because the Defenders was more like Daredevil DLC, which I'm okay with. But
that's a good way to put it. Good way to put it.
I wouldn't mind seeing them back together again. And I feel like Jessica Jones being the one character, even if she's the only one that shows up, makes sense, because she's the only one that keeps tabs on Matt, because she's a private eye.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of like it. I like the whole like Daredevil universe, may I say, you know what I mean? Because it was kind of pretty much detached when it was just on from the MCU, when it was on Netflix. So it was just kind of like the Daredevil Daredevil universe.
Yeah,
you know
they were like,
yeah.
we're calling it the incident when it's like, no,
Yeah.
it's the Battle of New York. Like they didn't want to say it because they didn't know if they were going to be canon.
Exactly. So I kind of dig it though. You know, I don't want them to fully ignore that the Defenders happened. You know what I mean? Like I want that to kind of be a thing. And then I don't mind getting Spider-Man. I want Spider-Man and Daredevil to interact. I just want it to be done right though. You know what I mean? It's got to be done right. We know Punisher's going to be involved in Brand New Day. So, you know, hopefully that goes, you know, hopefully that storyline, everything is played out.
Yeah.
Well.
It's interesting because Daredevil has kind of become the most important person in the MCU right now. Everything in his universe is the center point of the MCU. So I can see all these characters coming back, and
he's also Peter's lawyer as well. You know what I'm saying? So like,
well, he was, and then he forgot.
Yeah,
he was, and he forgot. So
damn, that's right. I forgot about that. You're right. Yeah.
So he doesn't know who Peter is.
Right.
I think with Born Again, I think that confirms that all the Netflix series are canon.
Yeah.
Because they did say that like that people are like, is Born Again canon to the 4? It's season 4. They said it's season 4 of the show. And with Punisher's existence, it has to be because he's so tied to the Netflix series and his own that I think the Defenders are safe and aren't like snapped away yet. So
and we're still getting a Punisher series too, right? Aren't we getting a Punisher series?
TV special. We're getting a TV special that takes place after he breaks out.
Yeah, it'll probably be like an hour, maybe hour some change. I'm guessing, right? Probably because
like an hour and a half.
You think so? Same thing with Werewolf by Night. That was like an hour.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do because they did confirm that season 2 of Daredevil Born Again is a direct prequel leading into Brand New Day. They did confirm that season 2 of Born Again will lead into Brand New Day. So like everything is connected to Daredevil right now,
and everything is seemingly playing a huge part with Doomsday. Because I think they're leading. It's all connected. They're supposed to. And then where the hell? I'm curious to see. I'm not a big. We got to wrap it up, but I'll kind of end it with this. I'm not like a huge fan. I don't even really know too much, to be honest with you, about Wonder Man. You know, and they're not doing too much promotion on Wonder Man either. You know what I mean?
Wonder Man's going to be interesting. I just hope it just gives us a resurgence in Iron Man 3 fans so we can get a re-release so I can watch it again. Me and Kara want it.
I don't even know where that exists in the timeline, where Wonder Man is supposed to exist. I don't think they've said where it even exists in the timeline.
I know it has to be after Iron Man 3 if Trevor's that famous.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So
it's got to be well after, I would assume, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure, but I will check that out because it has an interesting premise of like superheroes can't be actors. It's like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. We'll see, man. Ryder, this is awesome, bro. We ran out a little bit long. I had a few other things I wanted to talk to you about, but you know what, dude? I always welcome you back at another time later in the future. You know what I mean?
I'll be happy to come back.
We'll have a good conversation. We'll catch up on some more stuff, man. It's been absolutely awesome, bro, having you on. This is a great conversation. I love these kind of conversations where we can talk about cosplay, but also talk about comics and then also talk about time travel and just like a bunch of random stuff, bro. You got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, man. Anytime you ever want to have me, it's been a great honor and a privilege to come on the show after watching for a while. It's going to be a lot of fun whenever we see each other again. And I'm really excited for all the work that we did together, both with your shoot and the Muse shoot, because you actually pitched an idea that I forgot about, which was something that had to do with Muse attacking Daredevil. I remember. So I'm really excited to see that come out. But no, honestly, I'm just happy to have done this, and I look forward to doing it again sometime in the future and hanging out with you.
Yeah,
so,
100%, man. 100%.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not following Ryder, please go do so right now on Instagram at Ryder, CGA, spelled exactly how it sounds. And for everybody tuning in right now, thank you for watching, for liking, for commenting, for sharing, for doing all of those beautiful things that you do over on youtube.com/Side Project Podcast. When you go down, you hit that big red subscribe button and it goes, ooh, and you get 100 sexy project points. Thank you for watching and listening on Spotify as well, as videos are available on Spotify. When you follow and you rate and you do all those things you do on Spotify, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you're looking for me, you can follow me on Instagram at IG Hates Chazzy. That is my personal. And if you're looking for the podcast on Instagram, you can follow it at Side Project Podcast. Remember, that's Project with a K. Side Project merch available on sideprojectpodcast.com. For me, for Ryder, for the bread and butter, we are out of here.